Hey Seed Hunters, welcome back to a new video. Here are 50 amazing Minecraft seeds that will inspire you to build in 1.21. Seed 50 has a spawn that would be perfect for building a base inside of a mountain. If you were to build inside of this broken slope, you'd have a base with the most epic entrance ever. Seed 49 gives you nothing but badlands in every direction you turn. There are literally no other biomes in sight. Pretend you've landed on Mars and bring this planet back to life. Seed 48 spawns you looking out over a lake that is surrounded by spacious plains and cherry grove hills. If you just wanted to build, relax and take your time, this is the build location for you. Seed 47 has a tiny island that is home to 5 different wood types. The size of this island may limit your build, but the resources you can find will leave you with endless possibilities. If dark oak is your vibe, Seed 46 has a mountain valley that you need to check out. You could build a treetop city in this sea of trees, or even head down into the epic caves below. Seed 45 spawns you in a mountain valley that is the total opposite of dark. It's the most colourful valley you'll ever build in. Half of it is meadow, and the other half is flower forest. We all know that a new update is the perfect time to start a new world, but it's also the perfect time to start an epic survival adventure with your friends. The easiest and best way to do that is by grabbing yourself a Minecraft server from Wise Hosting. Wise Hosting has the most affordable server packages available, and they're super powerful too, so you know you'll always have smooth gameplay even on the most demanding Minecraft worlds. They've also got a really user-friendly game panel that gives you full control over your server. You can pick from a huge selection of mods and install them to your server with just one click, and you can easily change your server to any version you want, including the new 1.21 Tricky Trials update. And if you ever run into any issues, you've got 24/7 support, where you can get your questions answered quickly straight from your panel dashboard. So go set up your new 1.21 server at Wise Hosting now by clicking the link in the description, and go make some memories with your friends that will last forever. Use my code CHILL for 25% off, and then your squad is set for taking on all the tricky trials together. And now, let's get back to the seeds. Seed 44 has an old growth spruce taiga that sits perfectly between a beautiful lake and a uniquely shaped mountain range. Build a castle up in the mountains with a path that leads all the way down to the lake. Seed 43 spawns you on an ice spikes island entirely surrounded by frozen ocean. Your island has just one tall ice spike that would be perfect for turning into a tower that watches over this frozen landscape. Seed 42 has the perfect spawn for building with a friend. There are 2 equally sized mountain bowls right next to each other. One has nice flat plains, and the other has a meadow hill surrounded by cherry grove. If simplicity is what you crave, Seed 41 will definitely satisfy you. You spawn in the middle of one of the biggest and flattest plains biomes Minecraft has to offer. There's never been more space for building. Seed 40 has the most breathtaking cherry grove mountain valley you'll ever step foot in. With slopes as high as these, you'll have an incredible view of whatever you decide to build here. Seed 39 has a quaint little flower forest area with a naturally formed land bridge. If cute and cozy is your build style, I definitely recommend giving this world a try. Seed 38 has a max height mountain entirely surrounded by even more max height mountains. With the deep forest valley between the peaks, this seed has the potential for the most epic bridges you've ever built. Seed 37 has a circular patch of plains entirely surrounded by snow and ice spikes. This could be a great place to build a giant terrarium dome, or a garden full of life in the middle of this frozen world. Seed 36 spawns you in a breathtaking mountain crater, and as you look down through the valley, you'll see that it's filled with 4 different wood types. Gather resources from the forest and build yourself a house on the meadow. Seed 35 has so much building potential around spawn. You've got a large forest valley between 2 meadows, a meadow cliffside with unbeatable views, and the perfect place to build an ice palace. Ever thought about building a log cabin in the sky? Take a look up from spawn in Seed 34 and you'll spot a snowy tiger island high above the clouds. Skyblock anyone? Seed 33 gives you the perfect spawn for building a jungle kingdom. Build a castle at the top of the valley and a treehouse city that leads all the way down and out to the ocean. Seed 32 has a great spawn for building, but it also has an unbelievable cave on the face of a cliff that you need to adventure to. Imagine building your base in here and looking out over the ocean. Seed 31 has a meadow hill at spawn that's surrounded by a river and forests of all kinds. Every so often, seeds are found with terrain that's ready-made for your starter base, and this is one of them. Seed 30 has some great plains for building on, because whatever you build will have this incredible mountain lake view. There's even a jungle river island close by for you too. Seed 29 is the best seed for a night-themed build. The landscape just comes alive at night with the lava lighting up the snowy slopes, maybe a star observatory or a lava-lit ice rink. I'll let you decide. Seed 28 has my favourite open-air lush cave ever found in Minecraft. There's so much room for building a lush base, and if you're on Bedrock, you could use the mineshaft to get around different parts of your base by rail. Seed 27 has some terrain generation that is practically begging you to build on it. When you stumble across this forest river island, you'll know exactly where you'll be setting up camp. Seed 26 has a valley that leads you through every climate that Minecraft has to offer, all the way from snowy forests to eroded badlands. It's the perfect seed for path builders and adventurers alike. Seed 25 gives you a biome combination that you don't see very often. I'm willing to bet that most of you have never built in a snowy jungle, but with this seed, now you can. Seed 24 spawns you in possibly the biggest mountain bowl ever found. Surrounded by jagged peaks, snowy forests, and streams flowing down from the slopes, this spacious meadow is a spawn that you'll never want to leave. Seed 23 gives you the perfect place for a frozen-themed build. This Ice Spikes biome is entirely surrounded by a frozen river, and in the middle, you've got the perfect hill for a castle made out of ice. Seed 22 spawns you on a huge jungle mountain island, and inside of the mountain, you can find the most amazing lush cave overhangs. With exposed caves like these, your lush base will have the most incredible entrances. Seed 21 has a small pine forest island surrounded by a river. Build a log cabin in the middle with bridges crossing the river, and you've got a peaceful little spot to call home. Seed 20 has a selection of jungle cliffs that emerge out from the mainland. This place is just begging for a lighthouse or a lookout tower that watches over the Mushroom Islands. Seed 19 spawns you on the edge of a super deep lake surrounded by forest and cherry grove hills. There's plenty of space for building around the lake, and the hilltops will give you some pretty impressive views too. Seed 18 is one of the only seeds you'll ever find with an underground jungle biome. Cure all the zombie villagers and build a secret underground jungle village. If you ever wanted to build one of those circular cliff face bases, Seed 17 has some terrain that would be perfect for it. Though it may be far away, this windswept mountain has so much potential. Seed 16 has the most incredible coastal terrain I've ever seen. This frozen mountain bowl would be the perfect spot for a secluded fishing town that's only accessible by sea. Seed 15 reminds me of that terrain you'd see in the earlier beta versions of Minecraft. Spawning under this forest overhang just gives you a really nice feeling of nostalgia. You just have to build here. Seed 14 has the most incredible max height mountain range with the longest and most impressive valley you'll ever see. Just imagine looking through this valley and seeing your build high up on the mountain at the end. But if you prefer Stony Peak mountains, Seed 13 is unbelievable. There's a jungle mountain crater in the middle surrounded by even more layers of valleys and mountains. You really have to see this one to believe it. Seed 12 straight away gives you loads of flat plains for building on, but as you follow the river through the valley, you'll find a meadow hill surrounded by even more meadows. You can't not build here when you see this one in game. Seed 11 still has the best cave for building in the new update. It's the biggest and deepest cave you'll ever enter, and if you could manage to transform it, you'd have a cave base like no other. Seed 10 spawns you in a jaw-dropping mountain valley, where an inner mountain is completely surrounded by more max height mountains. Imagine the view you'd have if you were to build here. Seed 9 has a forest island surrounded by a river that is almost a perfect circle. And it's the perfect place to build too. It's like Minecraft has generated this piece of land especially for you. If you ever wanted to build on a mountain island, Seed 8 gives you the perfect opportunity. Out of all of the mountain islands that have been found, I think this one is the one I'd most like to call home. If you like to build in an area filled with flowers, it doesn't get any better than Seed 7, which has a super long meadow valley that is completely filled with ponds, streams, and a colourful flower forest. Seed 6 is a great spawn if you want a mixture of simplicity and beautiful terrain. Follow the wide open sunflower fields into a snowy mountain valley that is filled with life and building potential. Seed 5 has a build location that is so perfect, it almost seems like the terrain was custom made. This meadow hill is so flat, and the way it stands out from the rest of the terrain makes it a perfect place for your starter base. Seed 4 spawns you in front of an incredible windswept bamboo mountain. There's loads of interesting overhangs to build under, but I think the tree at the very top would be the ultimate spot for building the highest tree house you've ever built. Seed 3 has 2 mountain craters that are identical in size and they're right next to each other. Challenge a friend to join you on this seed and see who can do the best job in transforming their crater. If you want some simple plains to build on with an unbeatable view, you need to give Seed 2 a try. Build down here in the spacious valley and you'll be towered over by max height snowy mountains. And finally, when it comes to building potential, there's nothing that comes close to this ginormous meadow mountain valley. The meadow is just so flat and there's so much space. The possibilities here really are endless. Let me know in the comments where you've chosen to build your main base in the new 1.21 update. And if you'd like to play on any of these seeds with your friends, remember to check out Wise Hosting in the description below. And if you'd like to check out even more amazing Minecraft seeds, click on the next video.